Hey guys, good day. My name is Will. I'm actually one of the owners of On Service, and today we're gonna be discussing the job role as a CSR, in which what you're gonna be doing is setting up an appointment for new customers to do an on-site visit. So, all right, let's see here. So we started off with the introduction first, which is very important. Um, and it's very basic. What you need to do is, of course, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is uh, Will from On Service, or thank you for calling On Service. This is Will. How can we help? All right. Now I'm not gonna dwell into that because that's pretty basic, and we're gonna go straight into problem description and probing right here. So this part is number two and number three. They come along, and it's very important for us to know exactly what we need to do when we send out a technician. Okay, so there are instances in which you may probably skip this and jump into pricing right here. And like customer would ask how much the pricing would be, or if they are asking about location, if we service their area, like let's say the customer says, "Where are you guys located? Do you service Santa Monica?" So we go ahead and make sure that we would be able to respond to that. All right. So typically, this is where uh, the underlying statements after you say your branding, like they say, do you have a store in our area? Do you have a store in Tampa? Do you have a store in Miramar, Florida? Things like that. And we just simply respond to the question. Yeah, we service Palm Beach. What seems to be the problem with your computer? All right. So you may want to actually master this and be able to respond to the customer's inquiries right away and immediately. As you can see, all of this has a response at the end where it says what seems to be the problem with your computer. Okay. So we go ahead and jump into here. So this is where the customer describes the issue, and we need to be as detailed as possible um, when taking down notes. All right. So, for example, they are calling in about their computer not turning on. Okay. If you don't know much about computers, that's okay. Because anyways, they will be called back by one of our technicians. So, but it's best for us to like really get into it, and ask the right questions. Okay. So, for example, yeah, that case where the customer's computer is not turning on. So we may need to ask and put in our notes right here, like let's say problem description, right? Computer not turning on. All right. And then we ask some series of questions from the customer, like, okay, when did this problem start? Okay, and so like another question would probably be, before this problem, did you install uh, any updates on the computer or anything, or have made any changes at all to the computer? Okay, this would actually give our technician a bit of clarity before calling the customer in, and attempt to like possibly troubleshoot these types of issues, because there are instances in which we don't really need to send someone out. Okay, uh, for instance, they are calling in about a blue screen. Okay, so let's change our problem description right here. Blue screen, right? Same question. When did this problem start? When did or did you install or made any changes to your computer before this problem started? All right. Also, one thing that we need to ask if they know the version of Windows. So, what version of Windows is installed on your computer? So there are customers that doesn't know this. That's all right. If they don't know it, that's okay. It's for our technicians to figure that out. But these two questions are the most important ones. Okay, and probably like a slight description right there when they turn on their computer. So you ask, what do you see when you turn on the computer? So this would actually give us a little bit of insight, as far as the computer status is. Like for example, when they turn on their computer, it's just black, but they do see lights on their tower or on their laptop. They're seeing lights, so that means that there's activity. Another instance is that, like, okay, when they turn on their computer, it just goes to like their brand or their OEM logo, like HP or Dell. Another thing would probably be when they turn on their computer, it goes through all that, but it gives us like a blue screen, and it does give us some wordings right there, like startup repair or automatic repair, things like that, that we need to capture when we are probing. All right. So another case, for example, a customer is calling about their printer. So if they are calling about their printer, um, normally for people who are requesting on-site visits for this is typically like new install. If it's not new install, then most likely there are cases where it's a paper jam, or it used to work, you know, or some sort of an error with their printer. Nevertheless, we need to capture as much as we could when we're trying to uh, work with the customer or ask the right questions. All right. So that's the gist of it. We just need to make sure that we are very, very thorough with our probing right here. Probably give it about like a couple of minutes to just understand the problem a little bit right there, so that we would be able to provide a good uh, insight towards our technician. Okay, so um, moving forward, okay, once you have all that written down, number three would actually be to just make sure that when our technician arrives in the area, that there are no other services that is going to be rendered. Okay, because we, as much as possible, we would need to have our technicians be on site for about an hour. Okay, if it takes more than an hour, we also pay our technicians by the hour. Okay, so our charges are very, very low for our customers. It's for 129.99. Okay, and there are technicians that actually charges us for about $75 an hour, $80 an hour, and if the technician moves and reaches like more than an hour, they're actually going to bill us for that. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. So we just want to make sure, and simply ask the customer. Um, so okay, sir, if I got it right, you need a technician to fix your printer not connecting to your computer, and we can definitely get you set up right now. For these cases normally occurs for a possible problem with the computer itself. All right, so these are just a few wordings right there, but nevertheless we just need to ask if they need something done, like for example, okay. Do you need anything else that on your computer? Like, do you need a cleanup? Is there anything else that you're experiencing with your computer? Things like that that we need to ask. Okay. Now we move on to recap right here. Okay. Recap is pretty much just a summary of what you know about the problem. Okay, so for example, you already have like things noted down. The customer was calling in about their computer not booting up. Okay, or it's getting a blue screen, so you just simply say like, okay, just to confirm, our technician is going to go on site to remove the viruses off of the computer and also perform maintenance on the system. Let me just rephrase that. So, okay, now and then probably say something like, and yes, we would be able to get this done, something like that. All right. Now from here, you may want to actually grab the customer's information. So you kind of like say something like, all right, to get this set up, can I have your first and last name? All right, and then so on and so forth. Okay, this is very, very basic. Okay, we need all this information. This is for us to know where to send our technician. This is for our follow up call, and this is for them to get notification. Okay, so um, uh, I marked the phone number as red, uh, mainly because we would prefer a cell phone, just because like they would be able to save our phone number, and at the same time we would be able to send them a text message. Okay, now, okay, so let's move forward. All right, so this is one of the important things here, which is to schedule uh, schedule with a possible lead time. All right, so you ask the customer how soon do you want this scheduled? Okay, normally their response is like this: as soon as possible, and you just try to like acknowledge that. So you say, okay, let me see what I can do for you here. If we would be able to send someone out today, um, then we will definitely do that. If not, what time will you be available tomorrow? Okay. So typically the customer would actually give you a response. So you just need to note that down. All right. Now, if let's go to pricing. If this didn't come in at the initial part of the call, this is how you would uh, normally like really set up your call pattern. Okay. As you can see, it's all numbered right there. So we go to pricing, and I'll just go ahead and like make some edits on here. Okay, because we've made some changes here. Okay, so for our on-site visit, it's for 129.99. Okay, that's the lowest that we can go. All right. There are customers who would actually ask, so what happened to the 49.99? Okay, that's very simple. If you want to know more, there is a specific sheet for that, or like documentations for that. But typically, this is just what we explain to the customer. Um, so we do have that 49.99 for some basic fixes where our technician would provide diagnostics, and normally that would only take about 30 minutes to complete a task. So these are for like online sessions or remote sessions that we have, though we don't really use the word remote. We use online. So this is the basic explanation about the ad. So if it's something basic that we would be able to resolve within like a 30-minute time frame, our charge is for $49.99. Okay. If we send someone out, of course we have to travel. We have to go to your premise, spend gas and spend labor at the same time. So that would come out to like 129.99. Okay. So yeah, it's very straightforward for the pricing, you know. This is something as well that normally you won't really get a rejection right after you explain this, you know. There are some customers that still don't want to pay that 49 that 129.99. That's all right. We can't go anything lower than that, but we may probably opt them for doing an online session or an online meeting instead. Okay. Now let's move forward here. So no cancellation policy. This is pretty much something that we would also need to discuss with the customer. Although we don't really do this $40 penalty right here. We just need to inform. I'll just edit this. We just need to inform that, sir, ma'am, we have a no cancellation policy, because once we set up a work order for you and we assign a technician to work on your system, that technician would no longer be able to do another job. Okay, for that hour, that technician is reserved for you. Okay, so if you would want to cancel, you may probably need to call us like at least within the day, so that we would be able to cancel it. All right. If it's going to be for tomorrow, or on the following day, like it's set for like let's say 8 a.m. in the morning, we can't cancel that. Or like even 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. because we that technician that we have booked or reserved, instead of him like doing some other job, that technician would no longer be able to take another job. So that's why. All right. Now setting a callback, we need to be thorough on this. Uh, so we need to make sure that the customer is aware about our phone number. Okay. Um, so for right here, you inform the customer. Please write down our main phone number as one of our technicians will be calling you back to confirm the appointment. So our calls may go to spam or you might not recognize it. So it's best to either save it on your phone or write it down. So our main phone number would be 877-300-1018. And again, the name of our company is On Service. Um, Here, make sure that they have write it down. If not, like have them save it on their contacts. So by the time that our technicians will be calling them back, it will go through smoothly. All right. Now, from here, like the customer would probably ask, when will they call? Okay. So we just inform them anytime today, they will give you a follow up call. Or if you won't hear from us, then that means that our technician will be calling you directly once they are on their way. All right. So that's about it for the setting of callback. And just make sure that this is very important, guys, because this could actually mess things up when we are trying to reach the customer back. So we have to make sure that our number is either written down somewhere in a piece of paper or have been added as a contact. Okay. Now, wrap up is more like just a recap as well. So we just inform the customer. So to confirm, our technician is going to show up at our scheduled date and time, and we'll fix your, let's say, printer problem, and we'll also perform maintenance on your system. So is there anything else that I can help you with? And the customer says none for now. So you'll be hearing from us either from one of our technicians through our number 877-300-1018, or from our technician assigned to work on site. Thank you again for calling On Service. Okay. Um, so that's about it. These are pretty much for technicians, but for the CSRs, that's all you need to know. Um, what I'm probably gonna have you master more is this right here. You're gonna get like a whole lot of these. If you would be able to answer this smoothly, the rest of the call would actually be a breeze. Okay. So probably focus on the pricing. You could mess up with anything else right there, but never mess up on the pricing. Never mess up on location. Okay, because these questions right here for location and the pricing is the determining factor whether the customer is actually going to stick with us or not. Okay, so um another thing, like this is very very important. Okay, so when we respond to the customer about location, we don't stop, we don't pause when we say yes, we service Palm Beach, or we service Concord, or we service the entire Tennessee area or Miami area or the entire county of LA. We don't pause. Then we just go ahead. Yeah, we service Palm Beach. What seems to be the problem with your computer today? And that way you get the customer engaged. All right. Same goes with the pricing right here. Um, so we do have that. Okay. So what seems? to be the problem that you have with your computer today? Like that. All right. This is very, very important that we need to we don't stop once we have answered this question, and we need to take them back to what we need to know. All right, that way you would be able to have the customer fully engaged. All right, there are a few more things here, some readables for the pricing. I'll just go ahead and just you know probably delete this because it's already like a double entry right there. um so yeah, there are instances, by the way, where the customer actually says like, do you guys do remote? We definitely we can acknowledge that and tell the customer, yeah, we can definitely do an online session or an online meeting with you. Okay, at the same time, if you would want a technician to come visit the house, we do have that as an option as well. All right. So again, you can probably mess up, a little bit here on the problem description on the offer extended service right here. You but never mess up like here on the pricing and on the location. This needs to be perfect, al dente, you know. And when you answer the call, you should be able to like tell them right away, we service your area, what seems to be the problem with your computer, okay? Like that. All right. So that's it. That's pretty much your entire role. You just need to gather all the information, and then you're going to be submitting them through a form. All right. Thank you.